In this video, we are going to uncover 5 reasons why your XLOOKUP function fails. We'll talk about how to recognise these situations and also solve them. Let's get into it. Here is our first formula, and why does this XLOOKUP fail? The customer ID that it is searching for appears to be the same, and this is because they are the wrong data type. So they appear the same due to formatting, but they are not. And if I click on the 18 for the customer ID in C3, we can see that this truly is 18 and is not a match for the 018 in the other table. So the customer IDs in table 1 are numeric values and the customer IDs in table 2 are text values. How can we recognise this? Well, one way is their alignment. Now, we can't guarantee a data type based on its alignment in a cell, but it is a clue. And the right alignment of the first ID indicates numeric values, and the left alignment of the second one indicates text. Indeed, if I select some of the values in the first customer ID, I see a sum at the bottom of my screen, while if I select some IDs in the second one, I see only a count. Also, we could write formulas such as the isNumber function to test these values, and that will return true if it's numeric and false if not. We could also do this with the other table, and the isText function will do the opposite and tell me false, these values are not text. This is great for getting evaluations row by row, as sometimes there may even be just one pesky ID among this sea of IDs. So what is the solution? Well, we need to either convert the numbers to text or the text to numbers, and we can do this using text to columns or some mathematical calculation. We could maybe use a function like value to convert text to numbers. But for this scenario, I think we'll look at embedding within our customer name calculation a function to convert our numbers to text. So on the first cell, I am going to wrap a text function around the lookup value here, and I'm going to ask that text function to format it as text to 3 numeric digits. So it will appear the same, but it will not be the same. This will convert it to text, indicating a match in the other table. And I'm not saying that's your perfect solution. Ideally, we will deal with data type and data quality using Power Query. And depending on the use of these values, there is no one solution. But that is a solution for now. Reason number 2, and again, the lookup value and the values of the lookup array appear to be the same. And I believe some of you at the moment are screaming at your computer saying, I know this one. And it's probably because it's one of the most common reasons, and it's a trailing space. So looking at the value that cannot be found, the one ending in 7006, and if I investigate in the other table, there is a cheeky trailing space. How can we fix this? For now, to show a demo, I'm going to keep all of this in the formula, these demos. I can wrap a trim function around this lookup array. So trim will remove any unnecessary extra spaces. So any leading and trailing spaces and any extras in the middle as well. That's what the trim function of the worksheet will do for you. And we have our result. Looking at reason number 3, this has some similarities. Again, the values look the same, but they are not. I've got a couple that cannot be found, the one ending in 2008 and the one ending in 10025. And this time we have a problem with both the lookup value and the lookup array. So one of the problems we have here with the lookup array is that when we look at the value in the second row here, there is a line break. There are 2 lines in there. It wasn't really visible when we looked at the cell, and if I click away, it will kind of hide itself again. But it does exist, and it's ensuring we do not get a match. To deal with this, I'm going to wrap a function called clean around that lookup array, and that will take care of that problem. So that is cleaning some non-printable characters from my lookup array there. But I still have a problem, and this problem's with the value in cell B3. If I click on cell B3 and look at the content, I can see there's a space on the end. And we spoke about this a moment ago, didn't we? We spoke about how we can wrap a trim function and that will remove those unnecessary spaces. But this time it doesn't work because it's not a normal space, it's a non-breaking space that can sometimes come into our data when we're copying from web pages and other sources. So we need another way of removing it, and to do this, instead of trim, I'm going to use substitute, and I'm going to ask it to substitute that text. And the old text we're looking at replacing, we're looking at substituting. I'm going to use the uni character here of 160, which is the non-breaking space. You can look this stuff up or ask Copilot. And I'm going to replace it with nothing, just an empty string here, asking it to essentially remove that character. So the clean function would not have worked in that demo. That is outside of its scope. So I've had to attack it precisely. And that is the job done. So sometimes there are other characters that aren't always that obvious within your data, ensuring they don't match. And in fact, I've got a similar demo here where we spoke about the spaces, but here it's not matching because there are spaces within the value. We have some irregular strings here, some messy data, and to tackle this, I could use substitute again in my lookup array, and I can ask it to substitute all spaces in this demo. Be careful of that in other demos, with nothing. So rather than using trim, which only removes unnecessary extra spaces, I'm using substitute to say get rid of all spaces. And that produces our match. This one is a really interesting one, and it's a formatting issue again, similar to our first example, but this time it's not a mismatch of data types, but a mismatch of the actual value. Because if we look at some of our weight values from this export of shipping data, I can see that this 2.5 is not really 2.5. So it's not precise enough for XLOOKUP, and it realises that the 2.5 in the lookup table is simply a completely different value. To fix this, the typical fix is to introduce the round function so that we can round the lookup value, the weight in this example, to 1 decimal place. Ideally, we would use Power Query on the importing of the data to clean this up and round it. But I promised in this demo that all of the fixes would come within the formula. Our final reason, and this time we are not actually getting an error from our XLOOKUP, but we are getting the wrong answer. I'm searching for ticket ID 1002 in this table of tickets, where we have a different status as that ticket goes through its processing. And I want to return the latest status, but I'm getting the latest status of logged for that ticket ID, which is simply not true. The latest status is that it's resolved. This is because XLOOKUP is returning the first instant, and we have duplicate values for what we're looking for. This is okay, but it does prompt the question when you're dealing with duplicates of what are you trying to achieve? Do you want the first instance, the final instance, the second, third or fourth instance? Maybe you want all of them. Maybe you want to aggregate values for it. It really depends what you're trying to do. Now for us right now, we want the latest status. And to do that, XLOOKUP has a setting, a reverse lookup. If I come into my XLOOKUP and move through those final arguments from if not found to match mode and finally search mode, and we can choose the -1, that search last to first. And that gives us what we need, our resolved status. And if I change the ticket ID to number 5, then we get the last status of in progress. And if I change it to number 4, then we have a resolved status and so on. Now, if your goal was to return all of the values, then XLOOKUP is not really the lookup function you're after. You will want a function called filter. So if I run the filter function on this separate range and tell it to use the table TBL tickets and the criteria of TBL tickets and the ID column being equal to the value in cell B3, that ticket ID, and I've named that cell RNG ticket ID for easier reference and greater meaning for me and my colleagues. And this simple filter function will return all instances of the lookup value. So choosing the right function for your needs is important too. And if I change my ticket ID back to number 2 where we began, we have that latest status of resolved and also the output of all of the statuses and the date of that action. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please hit that thumbs up, and why not subscribe to receive the latest Excel videos at this channel. Catch you again soon.